While censors brandished their scissors like holy relics, directors found creative ways to smuggle carnal desires and social taboos onto the silver screen. These films pushed the envelope, licked the stamp with suggestive intent, and mailed it directly to the outrage mob. From biblical orgies to suburban scandals, the following cinematic relics proves that our grandparents were significantly more scandalous than their polite tea parties suggested.
And out of love, I will attend her ritual.
As recorded in the Book of Kings, and provoked the Lord to anger. And because of Sheba and the shadow that had fallen across Solomon,
Solomon and Sheba, 1959. King Solomon might have been the wisest man in history, but this film suggests his brain migrated south the moment Gina Lollobrigida walked into the room. This biblical epic is less about holy wisdom and more about the sheer logistics of 1950s breastplates. The production was a disaster from the start. Original lead Tyrone Power dropped dead during a duel, forcing Yul Brynner to step in and finish the job with a hairless intensity that distracted everyone from the script. The pagan orgy scene sent the Legion of Decency into a tailspin, as it featured enough rhythmic writhing to make a statue blush. While the Bible focuses on Proverbs, King Vidor's lens focuses on the Queen of Sheba's wardrobe, or lack thereof. It remains a monument to the era when Hollywood realized that religious history was a fantastic legal loophole for filming massive, sweaty parties.
she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices and very much gold and precious stones. You will see Solomon as the spiritual leader of his people and the builder of their great temple.
Divide the child into two parts. Give half to the one woman, half to the other.
Oh no! The voluptuary of the perfumed bath, mistress of all the arts of love.
And perhaps I will learn from his own lips the way to destroy him.
I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me.
It seems that in your lust for this woman, you've lost your reason.
Choose your words carefully, Ezra. It is love I have for her.
Among the more astounding spectacles in Solomon and Sheba, the wine-bathed orgy before the graven image, the shameless fertility rites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, in that he did build a high place for the worship of false gods and like abominations. Adonijah his brother sought to gain the throne, and led a mighty host of the Egyptian army against him.
You just fixed your wagon. With a smart talk, oh, you just fixed your wagon.
Baby Doll 1956. Tennessee Williams and Elia Kazan teamed up to create a film so provocative that Cardinal Spellman personally denounced it from the pulpit of St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is the ultimate 1950s marketing campaign.
Carol Baker plays a child bride who sleeps in a literal crib, waiting for her 19th birthday to consummate her marriage to a desperate, balding cotton gin owner. The plot involves a vengeful business rival, a thumb-sucking habit that felt illegal to watch, and a heavy dose of southern humidity. The film was banned in multiple cities and countries because it dared to suggest that humans have confusing, messy urges. Watching it today, you can still feel the heat radiating off the screen, mostly because every character looks like they desperately need a cold shower and a restraining order. It is a masterpiece of discomfort that turned a piece of playground furniture into a symbol of national moral decay.
She wouldn't let the stranger go away.
Oh, Mr. Vaquero, you certainly are getting familiar.
She has the same special raw electricity you found before only in Marlon Brando and James Dean.
Grown up suddenly.
I feel cool and rested for the first time in my life.
It's no torture to compare with it. What I've done is staked out a lot in hell, a lot with a rotten house on it and 5 complete sets of furniture not paid for.
Archie Lee promised my daddy that he would wait until I was ready.
Then the marriage was postponed.
My daddy gave me away.
Yeah, but you said Archie Lee waited.
Yeah, after the wedding he waited.
For what?
For me to be ready for marriage.
Well, how long did he have to wait?
Oh, he's still waiting.
I'm gonna wipe that grin off your greasy wop face for good.
Love Nest, 1951. This film features Marilyn Monroe in a supporting role, which is like putting a nuclear warhead in a suburban basement. The plot follows a veteran returning home to find his wife has bought a dilapidated apartment building, but the real story is the utter chaos of the eccentric tenants. While it presents itself as a light-hearted comedy about property management, it sneaks in a surprising amount of cynicism regarding the post-war American dream. Marilyn plays a former whack who sends every male character into a state of neurological failure just by existing in a bathing suit. The censors kept a close eye on the hemlines, but they couldn't regulate the charisma that eventually made Monroe a global icon. It serves as a reminder that even in innocent comedies, the era was preoccupied with the disruptive power of female beauty and the fragile ego of the returning soldier.
Wait a minute. Hold everything. What's coming off here? Here's Connie, a landlord who makes paying your rent a pleasure. This is Jim, who has his hands full with a blonde in his arms in the basement and a cutie on his mind upstairs. And this is Bobby, an old army buddy who just got back to her base of operations.
You must have found that pretty dull.
Oh, no. Jim can make anything interesting.
I was 2.5 weeks old. We had a French nurse.
I'd like to ask you just a few questions about one of your tenants, Mr. Charles K. Patterson.
What's the matter?
The house is loaded with cops.
The police arrive in the nick of time, the plumbing goes out most of the time, and the walls rock with fun and laughter all the time, and the screen's most heartwarming housewarming in years.
What'd you say to her?
Mrs. Fulton, he said hi.
I heard what he said, you peroxide kissing bug.
Monkey Business, 1952. Ginger Rogers and Cary Grant play a married couple who accidentally ingest a youth serum invented by a laboratory chimpanzee. What follows is a frantic exploration of what happens when adults lose their inhibitions and start acting like feral delinquents. Grant regresses into a drag racing teenager with a mohawk, while Rogers turns into a prank-pulling schoolgirl. The scandal here is the underlying suggestion that middle-aged stability is a boring facade that can be shattered by a single glass of water. Marilyn Monroe appears again as a secretary chosen specifically because she doesn't know how to type, providing a constant distraction for the rejuvenated Grant. The film mocks the sanctity of the nuclear family and the seriousness of the scientific community, proving that even the most respected actors of the Golden Age were willing to act like absolute idiots for the sake of a laugh.
Want to know why? Well, just look at what goes into this monkey business. There's a generous helping of ginger. Ginger Rogers, that is. Plenty of Marilyn Monroe for spice. And someone to see that things shape up properly. Scientifically, of course.
Edwina, what I have to tell you is unbelievable.
Oh?
Oh, well, I'll start at the beginning.
Takes a while to warm up.
Does me too. By the way, whose lipstick is it?
What's her name? You know, Oxley's secretary.
Not the half that's visible.
Hi, Dr. Fulton.
Edwina, she didn't do anything.
I'll pull that blonde hair out by its black roots.
Edwina, please. Edwina,
Come
stop
on,
it.
come on,
Miss
come
Laura,
on.
you keep out of the way.
Tea and Sympathy, 1956. In the 1950s, being a sensitive teenager who liked gardening and sewing instead of aggressive wrestling was considered a national emergency. This film tackles the unmanliness of Tom Lee, a prep school student who suffers through the nickname Sister Boy, while his classmates behave like testosterone-fueled chimpanzees. Deborah Kerr plays the older faculty wife who decides to provide the titular Sympathy to help Tom prove his masculinity in the most scandalous way possible. Because the production code forbade any mention of homosexuality, the script has to dance around the subject with the agility of a caffeinated gymnast. The ending features a famous, lingering moment where Kerr tells the boy, "When you speak of this, and you will, be kind." It was a radical plea for empathy in a decade that preferred its men to be stoic, silent, and deeply miserable. Cinematic rebels have always found a way to bypass the gatekeepers, ensuring that forbidden content found its way into the eyes of the public. If you enjoyed this journey through the cracks of the Hollywood Code, please take a moment to explore the other videos on this channel. We have a massive library of stories covering the strange, the beautiful, and the downright bizarre moments of cultural history. Your support keeps these stories alive and helps us continue digging into the archives of the unusual. Thank you for watching, and remember, what they try to hide is usually what's worth seeing.